One day, the forest burned down. The foxes on Wall Street were not surprised. They were already holding the matches. And they made $1 billion rabbits doing it. Most foxes in the forest work normal jobs. They chop wood. They sell acorns. They dig dens. They save their rabbits slowly, carefully, over a lifetime. Then there are the other foxes. The Wall Street foxes do not chop wood. They do not sell acorns. They sit in tall glass trees and move rabbits around using math. These foxes run something called a hedge fund. A hedge fund is a pool of rabbits collected from very wealthy foxes. Rich foxes hand over their rabbits and say, "Make us more rabbits." The Wall Street foxes take a fee just for trying. 2% of the total pile every year, win or lose. Then 20% of any profit on top of that. The arrangement is called 2 and 20. It is a very good deal if you are the one running the fund. Normal foxes in the forest can only make money one way. They buy something. It goes up. They sell it. Done. Hedge fund foxes discovered a second way. They can make money when things go down. This is called short selling. Here is how it works. Fox borrows an acorn from someone else. Fox sells that acorn immediately for 10 rabbits. The acorn price drops to 5 rabbits. Fox buys the acorn back at 5 rabbits. Fox returns the acorn. Fox keeps the 5 rabbit difference. Fox made money because something lost value. Fox is now rooting for things to fail. This is legal. Here is where it gets interesting. A hedge fund with a large enough short position does not just wait. Waiting is slow. Instead, the Wall Street foxes start talking. They tell other foxes the forest is rotting. They write reports. They hold press events. They whisper to journalists. The other foxes panic. They start selling their acorns. The price drops exactly as predicted. The hedge fund collects. This is called short and distort. It is the forest fire started by the foxes holding fire insurance. In 2008, hedge funds made record profits while ordinary foxes lost their dens. The top 25 hedge fund managers that year earned an average of 900 million rabbits each. The forest was still smoldering. But here is the part nobody talks about. Hedge funds are not always wrong about the fire. Sometimes the forest really is rotting. In 2007, a small group of Wall Street foxes noticed something. Fox banks had been handing out den loans to foxes who could never repay them. These bad loans were bundled together and sold as if they were safe. They were not safe. The hedge fund foxes did the math. They placed a massive short bet against the den loan market. Everyone called them crazy. 2 years later they were proven right. The forest collapsed exactly as predicted. One fox named Michael Burry turned 1.3 million rabbits into 2.69 billion rabbits. He did not start the fire. But he was the only one who saw it coming. And he profited enormously while everyone else burned. The forest did not know how to feel about that. The problem is the system itself. When enough rabbits are riding on failure, failure becomes attractive. Hedge funds are not required to disclose their short positions publicly in real time. The forest cannot see who is betting against it. Regulations exist. Enforcement is inconsistent. In 2021, a group of ordinary foxes on the internet discovered a Wall Street hedge fund had shorted a failing acorn shop called GameStop by 140%. More shares short than actually existed. The ordinary foxes bought the stock together to squeeze the hedge fund out. The hedge fund lost nearly 20 billion rabbits in a month. The Wall Street foxes called it manipulation. The ordinary foxes pointed out the irony. Loudly. Hedge funds are not purely predators. That is the honest version. Short sellers do catch fraud. They exposed Enron before the regulators did. They flagged Wirecard, a European payments company, years before it's won. 9 billion rabbit accounting hole was confirmed. Without short sellers, fraudulent companies can stay inflated indefinitely. The forest needs someone willing to say the tree is hollow. The problem is not the tool. The problem is when the tool is also carrying the axe. Hedge funds serve a purpose. That purpose occasionally overlaps with burning things down for profit. The Wall Street foxes would like you to focus on the purpose. The forest recovered. It always does. The Wall Street foxes kept their rabbits. They always do. There are around 30,000 hedge funds operating globally today, managing approximately 4.3 trillion rabbits. Most ordinary foxes have never heard of a single one. That is not an accident.